Today, I'm gonna be telling you two really important lessons that I got from my time when I was in school. These were things that were taught to me by professors, and I think they hold great wisdom, so much so that I wish to share them with you, maybe in hopes that it helps you or it guides you in a time of need or whenever you require this. Number one, how not to worry about the future. I was approached by a mentor at school. They were doing these regular routine checkups on students to see how people were feeling. And I was just having a nice conversation with this mentor. And they told me, you seem like the type of person that overthinks a lot and tries to have everything under control, which is not bad because it shows that you have a lot of interest and talent for planning ahead. But she also told me that it's sometimes better to just worry about what is happening right now rather than worry what is in the past or what has not passed yet. When I heard this, it kinda opened my eyes. We often make in our mind different scenarios of things that could happen before we even try something. When we are planning, we are thinking, for example, I'm gonna go talk to a person I really like. I'm gonna participate in a competition. I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna do that. And then before we do all of these things, some people tend to start thinking, okay, but what if this person tells me that they don't like me? What if this person tells me that they don't like me? What if I make a mistake in a competition? What if I simply don't make it and I'm an embarrassment? The person told me, listen, instead of overthinking in your mind everything that could go wrong, try to do an exercise in which at least 3 out of 5 scenarios are positive. So you can ease your anxiety, release those nerves, and try to have a better approach. What I got from this was quite interesting. You see, let's say for example I'm gonna enter a tournament and I have some really fierce competition. What happens if before competition day I start thinking, oh, I'm gonna screw up, I'm gonna make mistakes. I will probably perform with a lot of stress that day. It's not a bad idea to prepare for what could go wrong, by the way. Often saying things can help you a lot, and it can help you prepare for in case things go wrong. However, in your mind, it's also a good idea to just think, okay, so I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, this is gonna come out amazing, everyone is gonna be cheering. And then with this in your mind, you will slowly try to not be too nervous so that you can perform your best in anything that you try. Don't carry the weight of overthinking only negative thoughts. If you are an overthinker, allow your mind to also visualize scenarios in which you are victorious, in which everything you do goes amazing. This is one good way to stop worrying much about the future. When we talk about worrying less about the past, however, we must define what memories are haunting us. What have we done in the past that we are still holding on to and we are unable to let go? Did we say something to someone we care and they stop talking to us because of it? Did we mess up a friendship? Did we mess up at work? Did we made a huge mistake? And maybe we're being ostracized because of it, and no one wants to talk to us anymore because of what we did, said, or think, or thought in the past. Well, that is something that begins with self-forgiving. In order to truly change a mistake, you must understand it as a mistake. If you think that things in life have gone wrong with a person or with a project because maybe other people messed up and it was not your fault, maybe you are passing on the blame because you don't wish to take responsibility. It's true though, sometimes people messed up around us, but if you think you can do some introspection and realize that within you have found mistakes, it's important to sit down and realize, yes, I said this was wrong. Do not let ego consume you. Do not let ego consume you. Do not let the prideful part of you to ever stop for saying, I'm sorry, I made a mistake on this part. Often, people hold grudges against one another for things that could go wrong if they are unable to let go. And if you ever messed up with someone or a person, a friend, best friend, and currently things are not doing well, it's okay to give the person some time first, but realize that no human being ever wishes or desire to have a state of mind of hatefulness and pain. Everyone at some point in life, when they are ready, they wish to be happy and they wish to let go of bad things from the past. So being patient can help you reconnect or rekindle a friendship. Then using the right words after understanding your mistakes can help you open the door if they wish to. You must never force somebody to take your apology, but you can show them how sincere you are with your actions and your words. If, on another hand, you are carrying burdens that only happened within your mind because you mess up, because you think you are the cause of someone else's pain, God forbids, but maybe your parents make you think you are inadequate and you are the reason of their not being able to be happy. This will carry a lot of problems within you, or many more simple things. You must understand, first and foremost, that you are quite deserving of love. If someone has convinced you that you are the root of their problems, let's do some self-healing first. You are not the cause of anyone's problems unless you are actively working towards their demise. If you are just trying to live your life as peaceful as you can, having fun, doing good, you are not the problem. Realize that some people in life only wish to manipulate you and make you feel bad so that they can keep you around for whenever they wish. You must release yourself from any form of toxic friendship, quote unquote, or relationship, quote unquote, or even from toxic family members that don't value you and don't love you for who you are or who you wish to be. As tough as that may be, you must realize that this is important. You deserve love. You deserve happiness. Forgive yourself for everything and anything that you may think still haunts you. And only then, once you are able to let go all those painful memories, you will be able to stop living in the past and therefore finally start looking to the future. You know, there is a wise saying, It's impossible to go forward while looking backwards. Technically speaking, you can, but it's not ideal. You're gonna find yourself hitting into a lot of problems. It is with great hopes that you are able to understand how sometimes we are still overburdened by the past, things we did, things that happened, friendships, but none of that really matters more than you today. Today, you and I are alive. We can experience the whole gift of life, nature, internet, video games, whatever you like, music, art, sports, or maybe just doing nothing and just being relaxing at bed. You can choose to enjoy your life in any way you wish. Sometimes we must work hard, yes, but everything is much better when you are simply not holding problems from the past and when you are not overthinking much about the future. Work hard, but also rest correctly so that you may have today a beautiful present and a much better future. Because remember, if today you are not taking care of yourself, you are not sleeping, you are not balancing your mental health, you might incur into medications, and all of this is gonna make you feel less happy in the future. Be very careful with your choices today so that you may have a better future. At the same time, let's also realize that life comes and goes really quickly in what is a flash or a blink of an eye. You were young a couple of years ago, many years ago. You were still a toddler. You remember something about your house, playing with some toys, and then all of a sudden your memories skip all the day to your first day at school or the kindergarten. You realize, yeah, I did this, I used to have this teacher did this, I remember writing something on the desk, I remember some friends, we used to play this, and then I blink again, I'm already almost, teenager, doing sports, playing music, changing schools, making new friends, going to play video games with them, being at home playing with family, some board game, tabletop, and then you blink again and you are out of school and into college or university or anything you may have done, and then you see yourself working. You had your first relationship, your second relationship, your third relationship, whatever. And then you keep blinking a little bit, and in your mind you still think of yourself as youthful. And all of a sudden you have gray hair. Your knees start hurting a little. Your body doesn't respond. You wake up tired. You need more. You can no longer sustain not sleeping much because you wake up destroyed the next day. Hey, listen, aging is fine. It's part of life. It's okay. Just make sure today you are taking the right decisions so that those new years that are going to come into your life are good and you don't have to suffer for things like that. In a way, it's all connected, and it teaches you that every decision you make will have an impact in the future. However, this is no reason for overthinking. This is only a reason to be aware. To be aware and have consciousness to make the right choice. This will lead you to a much relaxed, happier life in the future. Those are the lessons that I have gotten from that simple interaction I had with that first mentor. The second topic comes from a teacher that I don't even remember what was the subject he was teaching, but sometimes I used to have conversations with people I never really fit correctly on the school system, so I was really lonely by choice. And I often found myself talking with teachers about topics of different kind. One of my teachers told me one day an interesting lesson about how to care less about the negative opinions of people. Here's what he told me, quote, "Imagine that you have a plane and you are about to take off. Everything is ready. This flight will change your life, but it must be completed. You prepare, you take off, and as you do, you start hearing in the back of the plane, this is a small plane by the way, personal one. On the back of the plane, you start hearing some rustling and movement and some mouse noises. You quickly realize that in the cargo of your little airplane, there are rats or mouse. And this could prove to you a huge danger because they could start biting off part of the plane hull from the inside, causing you to have a terrible accident and may end up in losing your life. You are presented with two choices while you are taking off and already somewhere slightly in the air. You have the ability to simply abort your plans and go back to the ground to get rid of the problem, losing in the process the opportunity you have to make everything better for you. Or you can also just keep flying higher and higher. And the higher the altitude, the better will be for you. Because rats or mice do not survive at a certain altitude. You can then choose to keep flying higher and higher despite what is happening in the back. And eventually, all those sounds will be deafened. This is an analogy for the haters. Basically, let's put it into perspective. Let's pretend you are starting a YouTube channel. And as you start taking off your first videos, sometimes you will get very distasteful comments of haters that are criticizing because, let's be honest, no one really knows what they're doing the first time. Everyone makes mistakes. And some people rejoice in pointing those mistakes out. Now you can have two choices. You can quit your YouTube channel being discouraged by these hateful messages, or you can just keep going, improving and being better. And eventually, the good people will start noticing what you are doing, and those haters will simply be deafened or even stop typing negative comments. This is something that I take really close to heart. When it comes to starting anything in life, you must understand that there will be some people always telling you not to do it, that you are not meant for it, will try to convince you to simply be mediocre like them. And you must always remember that if you have a dream, you should keep working towards this dream. You should keep perfecting your craft slowly over time, becoming better, flying higher, and distancing yourself from people that have nothing positive to offer you in your life. How many times you wanted to try something and you stopped doing so because somebody told you, because you heard a comment, or you were simply afraid because you saw how someone was trying and that someone was getting a lot of hate? Or, discouragement. You will not, from now on, base your choices mostly on the negative opinion, or you will not try to overthink negativity. This connects to the first topic. Sometimes just doing what you like will attract people that don't like you, but that is not enough reason for you to give up. You will eventually succeed one way or another. By doing what you like, you will eventually find art in your craft, and others will as well. What I mean by this, when we start making our first things, usually there is a lot of imperfections. And as we start, compared to in the future, after doing the same thing 100 times, we notice there is a huge improvement. This happens when you play a musical instrument, or this happens when you are also practicing sports, when you are playing a video game like Dark Souls. This happens in many aspects of your lives. Practice will make you better. It's just a matter of starting. The sooner you begin, the better things will be for you in the long run. And the longer you take, because you keep overthinking how to make everything perfect from the beginning, the worse it's gonna be for you. No one is perfect. Everyone that is successful in a way has started somewhere. Most people don't even know. For example, if I were to point out about one of the largest VTubers ever, Shy Lily, she used to stream for a long time to less than 100 average viewers. Then she had a new model and she did amazing work by working really hard. You know, this is just one example of a streamer. Now put into perspective, playing music, crafting everything. I have spoken in another video about inner talent, passion, and hard work. It's important, if you are talented, to put that talent to good use by working hard. If you don't have any talents in certain things, you might need to work harder if you really need or desire something. But more or less, these two lessons given teach me that when I try to do something, I must stop worrying about the past, about the future, and about people's opinions. These three main things might just be the reason for you to get out there and start trying a new adventure, a new YouTube channel, a new musical instrument, a new sport, a new activity, something that you have always longed to do, but you failed to do so because of fear, because of how your mind plays against you. Now remember, please, anxiety is not easy to deal with. It's not as simple as just stop caring. It's a healing process. Not listening to haters as well is a process. Some of us are stronger than others. Some of us have already had experience being bullied, and we have grown with a defense mechanism against hate, while some other people are quite susceptible and frail, but this doesn't mean that they're less capable. It's just a process. I am not trying to normalize hate in our lives, but unfortunately, hate is part of everything that you may do in one way or another. Someone out there might be trying to mess with you to see you fail. However, understand that when someone attacks you, it's because they themselves failed in the first place. And unfortunately, they don't wish to see other people happy. Let go of all the negative emotions. Let go of all the hate that people are throwing, if any at all, and you will be successful one way or another. It is almost a mathematical fact that once you have drive, dreams, passion, and energy, anyone can make anything a reality. And that is the virtue of the human spirit: determination, courage, wisdom, and more importantly, the will to learn over and over from our mistakes. You must not give up. You must not over worry much. Often making mistakes makes you way more appealing as well, because you are relatable. No, I'm not telling you to go out and make mistakes on purpose, but people love a good study. People love to see somebody grow and achieve things that are quite impressive. Think of yourself in this way and allow yourself the happiness to be today in the present, and have dreams and goals that are not just worries or negative, but also dreams and goals that will provide you with a happier life. It is within those two lessons that those two little moments that I share with these people, that I have been able to come up with this conversation. Maybe there is more to it for me to understand, or maybe I have understood it correctly. However, when I put into perspective what I'm doing as a content creator, as a vtuber, as a streamer, YouTuber, and a gamer, I think of me that way as well. And I am convinced now that after doing this for almost 3 years, I enjoy it so much that I only want to do more. That is why I started this ASMR channel. Even though it imposes more work and less time to maybe do nothing, I find a lot of joy in this adventure and happiness in seeing the results that many of you out there enjoy it too. So it's a good thing that I started making this, and I am convinced that this channel is gonna go far. It's gonna be nice, even if it doesn't get many subscribers, or if it does, it just makes me really happy. Don't forget to find joy in whatever you are doing, in a hobby. This is one of the most important things in life if you don't want to burn out. I think as well, I have had the ability to read sometimes books or listen from other people. If you ever have someone you look up to, if you're at college, university, school, and you have the ability to learn from people that are older than you, and they wish to pass on to you some knowledge, it's a good idea to listen carefully and do a lot of analysis into why they're telling you this. You know, I can imagine the second teacher that taught me the airplane and the rats lesson probably also in his life had to deal with something like that. And maybe he pulled through, or maybe he didn't. And he's trying to pass on to me the knowledge so that I don't ever worry about haters and just keep on being myself. I can also come back to the first teacher, how she taught me not to think much about the future and be less of an overthinker in a negative way. Maybe she also have had those things in the past that she has to deal with, and maybe she found a way to find harmony. And now I'm passing on to you this knowledge, and I hope you like it. I hope it is something that gives you something valuable. I need to get out there and talk to more people, but that is a big problem for me because I'm a big introverted. Back then, I was in school, so I didn't have a choice. But now I spend most of my times by myself, making content and trying to live a life with fulfillment and happiness and coziness. Maybe if anyone here wants to tell me something, if you make it this far into the video, may I request from you a favor? Please tell me in the comments one lesson you heard from someone that marked your life. And try to tell me. You don't have to be lengthy if you don't wish to, but try to tell me what is your analysis of the things they told you. I wish maybe this way I can enrich myself further from your knowledge, in hopes that you can also find within my words some enrichment, and that way we can all of us keep growing mentally and spiritually to be better. I think that's really nice. Thank you so much for listening. I will leave the video here, and I hope you have a wonderful rest, an amazing time. I'll be seeing you next time.